Hi everyone, good morning, or I should say good afternoon. I'm a little late today doing this reading. My name is Dan and welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the weekly forecast. It is for all signs, so it is a broad spectrum reading. I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. Each card that I pull should be for a day or two, maybe three during the week. It's the underpinning energy, kind of what's going on underneath the weekly readings that we'll see this week that will follow. It's originally created for March 19th through the 25th. Where the hell did March go? I don't understand. I feel like February moved really quick and now March is moving even faster. I don't know if any of you guys are feeling that, but let me know. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily or weekly readings. In there is just some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using in the readings, how to contact me or follow me on social media, either through my Instagram page or through my Facebook business page. You can book private readings at either place by messaging me there. Know that I will never message you to sell you a reading, so if anybody ever does, just be careful of that. Also, in the drop-down menu is some easy ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the like button, the thumbs up button if you enjoy my content, subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. I do put up daily content. And sharing the video out or leaving me a question or comment. I appreciate all of those and I do read them. This reading is a kind of take what you need and leave the rest. Some of you may experience all of these cards and then some. Some of you may experience only, one or two of these cards throughout the week or more prominently. There's a lot of flexibility with this because it is like a collective energy. It's up to you to determine with your intuition where this best fits in your life, if at all. If the reading doesn't make any sense to anything that you're dealing with or how you're feeling or what's going on in your life, by all means, that's okay. Don't worry. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different. And as I said, this is created from the 19th through the 25th of March, but if you're seeing it at a different time, even just on a day, and what I'm saying fits in your life, how you're feeling or thinking about a situation or what you're facing, by all means, utilize it when you see it. Don't necessarily get caught up in the date. I think that energy can be fluid, readings can be timeless, they can find us when we need them rather than when they were really originally created for. So you can come back to my readings and play reading roulette. Just pick a random day and see what it says. And it's like opening to a page of a book and taking what's ever written there and applying it to your situation. Spirit has a way of getting us the messages when we need them rather than when they were originally intended for. So I do believe in the power of that. So just keep that in mind. What else do I need to say? I think that's it. Yeah, let's get into this and see what's going on for the week. Sorry, I'm like behind and in a bunch of feels, my Pisces ass self. Leave it to me. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not like criticizing myself. It's been a bit of a period of stuff. Let's just call it that. I'm going to pre-shuffle all the decks. I don't know why. I was actually even contemplating pre-shuffling prior to even turning on the video, but I think that hearing the cards shuffle lets you guys know that indeed I'm doing the work in the moment. But this time I want to pre-shuffle all the decks. I also feel very compelled to just throw everything down on the table, put all the cards out, and then do a broad overview of what everything feels like collectively. But we'll see how I decide to flow with this today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful March. I can tell you here today it is extremely cold, which I do not like as I get older. My resistance to cold weather is brutal. When my hands get really cold, I don't know what it is. I think it's my blood pressure. I cannot get my body to warm up, so it drives me nuts. And it's been rainy and depressing, and we've had some really beautiful weather, so it's kind of a I don't know. Maybe I have sad seasonal affective disorder. Thank God this is not a season. It's just like a crappy day, but whatever. I hope you all are well. For those of you that watch me regularly too, and you know who you are, Lisa, Jamie, Beth, Melinda, Judy, Casey, all of you guys, I really wanted to say a big, and you know, Marita, Rose, all of you guys, I just want to say thank you. And if I missed anybody in that list of names, you know who you are. You know I love you, and I really, really, really do appreciate your support in this channel. It's just, you know, you guys keep me going. It's a small but mighty channel. Alright, so I think this is good. I feel good about these shuffles. So let's see where these cards take us. As I said, the three larger tarot deck cards are going to represent for day 2, 3, for the week. So let's just get right into this and see what we've got going on. So our beginning of the week card is the 10 of materials. I will take it. Look at that happy group of, you know, if I could buy the world a Coke, I'd teach them how to sing. Or maybe if I could buy the world some Coke, I'd teach them how to clean. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. But I love how they're around this rose bush. To me, this blooming, gigantic rose tree even. To me, roses are extremely spiritual symbols. Their beauty, their growth, they represent, you know, those aspects of ourselves that like evolve, grow, and flourish in a way, right? And so with this, I love the strength of it. I love the unity in the card. The 10 of materials is the 10 of pentacles. It is kind of like the sort of happily ever after card where everything comes together in the 3D, or things feel like they're on track. We might be feeling very secure in our decisions, where we're heading, what we're looking at, what our goal setting is. And it's not just necessarily for us, it's for us and all these fools down here that we don't know who exactly they are. They could be friends, family, loved ones, people we hold dear. But needless to say, it's about not only our own upliftment and security, but also being able to provide a sense of security for those that we love. That security, yes, obviously because it's pentacles, could be material security for some, but it can also be, you know, providing security and in just being there for a friend as a source of support, validating and holding space for them. 10s are also about endings, right? Because once the 10 happens, then we kick into that ace, which is the new beginning of whatever suit we're looking at. And materials, or pentacles, this is deck, it's called materials, is the 3D world. So there could be a real contentment with our relationships, our jobs, or changes that might be taking place in these fields or these areas, but they're beneficial changes. They're blooming, they're blossoming. I also really love this tree because it's bringing in this sense of kind of the shift of the seasons, you know, like we've come out of the winter, or we're about to come out of the winter, and we're about to watch things like re-unfold or re-bloom as we head into April. Let's look at the midweek card, and I may like bounce back. I just have this feeling I want to like throw all these cards down and look at the overall collective whole. All right, second card, Justice. What an incredible card for Justice. This deck is blowing my mind, I have to say that. Justice is major arcana, it is Libra and air energy, it is intellect, how we communicate, how we think, you know, the logic, our mind, what's been going on within it, and the things that we tell ourselves and the actions we take from those thoughts. I love this with the 10 of materials leading, because to me, there's a definite sense of completion. There's a definite sense of almost upending. Upending is usually a bad thing. That's not the right word. Like resolution that I get from both of these cards. Like this might be a week where we feel rather complete, whole, honest, truthful. A truth can come out with justice. Sometimes it can mean like legal truths or the truth of a situation being revealed to ourselves. But in this sense, and oftentimes when I look at this card, or when people read this card, they think of it as, you know, justice, like, you know, vindication, or the truth coming out and being revealed, like in something that was unknown to us. But I feel like this is known to us. I feel like this face that's coming out of the older face is like a shedding of the skin or a transmutation. It's something that we've, with that 10 of materials there, it's something that the sense is whatever we've been moving towards, it's becoming more fully realized, actualized, and actually becoming very true, honest, and extremely powerfully real by the midweek with this Justice card in the center. So it may not necessarily mean, oh, we're finding out the truth that we didn't otherwise know. It's like the truth that was inside of us that we did know is here and has arrived. The last card, oh wow, okay, they ain't playing this week, is the Wheel of Fortune. So speaking to this idea of new beginnings with that 10 of Pentacles and the truth of the Justice card, the Wheel of Fortune is often associated with Sagittarian energy, which, excuse me, I need a little water. That Sagittarian energy plays very nicely off the air energy of justice and the Libran energy that represents. Air and fire are very complementary. They feed and consume from one another, right? They work together. With that 10 of materials in the beginning of the week, that's enough grounding or centered sort of practicalness for us that our growth, where we've come from, what we've come through, we are more solid in that, and that's where we're ready for justice to sort of come forward. And I really get this sense with this Justice card that it's about a truth within us that we've been working on, that we knew, that we've been working towards. It feels more like a instead of like some secret being revealed or that sort of a thing, it feels more like the truth that we've known for quite some time, that we've been working on towards holding, maybe silently holding within ourselves, is emerging. With that emergence, we have the beauty of this Wheel of Fortune, which kind of, to me, the Wheel of Fortune is this kind of broad concept card. Do you need to kick me right now, Sven? I don't think you do. This more broad concept of like the universe working in conjunction with us to what's the word, like give us not exactly what we need, but the thing that serves us best to progress us forward. The wheel can sometimes represent slow environmental, spiritual movement, right, where things fall into place that lead us in directions that teach us, right? And the wheel is the 10th card, which I find interesting because we start the week off with the 10 of Pentacles. So there is this kind of completion-y, is that even a word? This, this sense of completion in a very right way, not only within ourselves, like physically, but also with justice there mentally, and with the wheel there spiritually, path-wise, choice-wise. We're setting towards, or opening up. It's like, I want to say we're opening the door that we knew was always there, or that we've been like walking our way towards, and we're now very clear, able, and capable to open it up. Even with justice there, like it makes me think that we're doing it. It's just deserved, honor, right? We're aware of it. We're in sync with it. Our mind is in sync with it. What we're communicating is in sync with it. And as we are in sync with that, the wheel is shifting and moving with us at a bigger, like more broad spectrum level, leading us towards, oftentimes I think of the wheel as what's best for us. Sometimes with the wheel, if the Wheel of Fortune ever were to have like a warning that comes with it, the warning that I always get from it is we get what we focus on, right? The wheel's going to give us more of what we kind of, like if the wheel were the manifestation card, and I say, I don't want that, all the universe hears is that, whatever it is that we're discussing or thinking or focusing on. So even if it's something that's unwanted, the wheel doesn't hear the unwanted or wanted part. The wheel hears the thing that we're focused on. Oh, you're asking for more of this relationship or this scenario or whatever. But I feel like with the clarity of justice and this sort of solidity of the Ten of Pentacles, positive things are coming to us. We're aligning in a way, and especially with justice there in the midweek, mentally we're communicating within ourselves and emerging. There's an emergence field. That's a really good word. That justice card's giving me an emergence. So is Ten of Pentacles with that beautiful rose tree blooming there. That is aligning at a greater sort of environmental or spiritual level through the wheel, that's leading us into not only maybe where we want to go, but also very much where we need to go for our highest lessons, desires, or learning. Now, the wheel being such a sort of big, broad spectrum concept idea of like spirit or the environment or life meeting us where we're at, gives me this indication that we're primed and ready for it, especially with that Ten of Pentacles at the beginning and justice in the midweek. Whether we've been dwelling on it, thinking on it, working hard towards it, we're finally starting to feel the shift towards the possibility of it, with the wheel being there by the end of the week. Does that make sense? I know that there's a lot going on planetarily. I can't even speak to the fact that I know exactly all that is. Oh, well, let's just look here for a minute. We have a new moon that looks to be... I've heard that the new moon is in Aries, but my calendar here says that it's fourth quarter new moon in Pisces. So it may be shifting a little bit into Aries. It could still have some Piscean influence to it. You know, the moon in Pisces can be strongly, in my opinion, emotional and psychic, but with Aries, it can also be very action-oriented, very, I don't want to say impulsive, but ready to take action, take movement. And it being a new moon means that we are ready to start new cycles, bring in new thought, and that Aries aspect to it is that fire energy of the Sagittarian representation of the wheel there. There's a turnover that's happening here, but I feel like this turnover or this shift is something that we have been awaiting and consciously aware of, and we're ready for it, is the feeling. It just feels, it'll be interesting to see how the cards play out this week, because this to me feels like this is a very grounded, solid, focused, not only mentally but also physically week for our like repositioning or betterment in the greater, grander scheme of things. And that's not only the wheel's influence, but also Ten of Pentacles always represents us providing for ourselves, but also everyone else around us. I'm not saying start giving your money away, people. What I'm saying is that we understand where we've been working towards, and it's arriving, and we're ready to stand in that. And that's kind of the justice of it all, is that whatever we've been through, suffered, challenged by, worked on, sat in, ruminated through, recollected over, we are assimilating it at not only a practical level, but also at a mental level, and communicating it quite clearly and strongly with two major arcana cards underpinning this reading for the week. Now, let's go to the Miracles Now card. I love it. When I honor my feelings, I find my power in powerless situations. So just by knowing how we feel about something can indicate and give us clarity that empowers us even in situations that feel outside of our control. What I'm going to say here, though, with this is that the wheel to me, which would be that, like, you know, you could see as a powerless situation or bigger than us, I feel like we are in alignment to it because we maybe are honoring our feelings. We are finding our power. We are grounding and understanding about the work that we've put in, and we're aligning our thoughts, our communications, our focus through justice, and it's bringing us from a state of, I don't want to say powerlessness because I don't feel like we're powerless, but it feels like we are in alignment. And by understanding and acknowledging our feelings, who we are, what we deserve, where we're at, what we've been working towards, and then in the midweek communicating it through justice, holding true to it, understanding that yes, indeed, I deserve this. This is the right thing for me. This is what I've wanted. This is what, um, you know, I'm communicating. It all feels very much in alignment, and our feelings to me feel like they could be aligning with how we think and communicate, and therefore creates this justice of the ownership of, all right, universe, I'm ready for the next. Give it to me, bring it on. And that's the wheel's influence rolling in and moving us forward. Let's look at the clarifiers. This feels like, I mean, until we see the clarifiers, but I'm going to just go with this before I start pulling them. This feels like a very, I don't know if self-directed is the correct word, but it feels very empowered, where we feel connected, whether it be to our jobs, our friends, our relationships, but there's this connection feels like grounded, empowered, clear, and aware, and because of that, we feel like we're in the driver's seat this week. Let's just say that, like, we're working in the universe is conspiring with us. Let's just say that, okay? All right, so we have justice again. All right, this alignment and this double justice is like, we are definitely knowing who we are, what we want, how we need to communicate it clearly, correctly. It's not, oftentimes justice is like a ruling. Like I said earlier, this is not necessarily something's being ruled it is being ruled in our favor, but it's not like, I feel like it's being self-created or self-actualized through our own awareness, our own clarity this week, that really is setting the stage for, I don't know if it's a new phase. It may be a new phase for some of you, but it might be something that we've been aspiring or working towards, and it's finally arriving, and we're seeing it, we're feeling it, and where we may have felt powerless in the past to align this in the way we've struggled or worked against it, or been in what's the word that I'm looking for? Not adversity, but been resisting it. We're not resisting it. We're shifting into, this is it. Let's move forward. We have the King of Wands. This is the king of taking action, right? He's also Wands, that fire energy that ties in nicely to the wheel of Sagittarian energy. The King of Wands, I believe, is predominantly associated with Leo, but he's any of the fire signs. That being said, he's also about taking action. He's the I see it, I feel it, I want it, I take it, it's mine card. He's in charge. He's looking at justice. He's almost having a conversation with her, like, okay, girl, this is what we want, this is what we're communicating. And she's going, okay, let me order it. Let me make it happen. Let me honor it through my feelings, through my thoughts, through what I communicate, and let's just go after it. Don't worry about, like, what steps we're going to take or what could stand in the way. There's, like, again, we have Libra and Leo, or fire and air, working in conjunction with one another to move us forward. Fire and air are the more, in my opinion, that they tend to be the faster energies too. In just when you think of them vibrationally, water would be the third fastest down, and then below that would be that Pentacles energy. But we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is very much a harmonic card, or a self-satisfied sense of what we have and what we can provide. So I'm feeling this reading big time. And then the last card, wow, is the High Priestess. Now look at how these two ladies, Justice and the High Priestess, both being pillar cards of the Major Arcana. See the pillars there. The Hierophant is the other one. They're sitting here on either side of this king going, okay, dude, where do we want to go? And what I love about her, with this being High Priestess, she is Piscean energy. She's that water. She's that emotion. She's that, when I honor my feelings, the emotions, I find my power in powerless situations. I don't think we are in powerless situations per se, but that which didn't seem possible, or when we've been working towards it in the past, has been giving us roadblocks, or um, uh, maybe not quite coming together as easily, and we might have been feeling frustration over it. I feel like they are opening a door. They are offering up and it's interesting to me too, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, similar to kind of like Four of Wands energy, the 4 pillars. Fours to me are about foundational strength, right? I always say there's 4 legs on a table. We have our mind, which would be justice, our truth, our honesty, our intellectual, mental truth, working with the more secretive, intuitive, spiritual truth of the High Priestess, guiding us to take action through the King of Wands, to move forward, and to move forward in conjunction with this Wheel of Fortune. It's almost, you guys are going to have to tell me what goes on this week, and we're going to have to look at how the readings play out day to day. But what I'm saying here is, it's like the mind and the spirit, the mind and the emotions, the mind and the intuition are working together towards taking action towards what we've been maybe working towards and not been able to see it or get it or grasp it. The door is opening. I'm just going to say that. And it's not like, I don't know why I want to say this. It's not like when one door closes, a window opens. No, this is the door opening, is what it feels like to me, especially by the end of the week with the wheel there. We've got a clarity, a sense of not only mental clarity, because we see justice here twice, but also spiritual, emotional, because of the High Priestess's Piscean connection, but her high spiritual secrets, our higher self is in alignment with our mental body, and that's enabling us to take action, to create plans, to set forward in what it is we are desiring, have been waiting for, planning for, maybe even. It might even be a plan that we thought was impossible, all of a sudden becomes possible. It all of a sudden opens up, and boom, that King of Pentacles is like, okay, I see it. Let's go for it. Let's take steps. Let's take action. Let's move forward. Here is the grounding stone for the week. It is courage. I love this stone in particular because when you flip it over, it looks like a heart to me, right? I have one in there that represents love, that's sort of a similar, not shape, but in size. But I always see this, and I always find it interesting that when you flip it upright, or upside down, it's in the shape of a heart. I'm telling you, this is our week. This courage is the courage to be in our truth, the courage to be in the truth of not only our thoughts and our communications and be honest and just and real with them, but the courage to take action through the King of Wands, and the courage to honor our spiritual, intuitional truth that the High Priestess represents. And all of this, I feel like, when we have the spirit and the mind working together and being courageous and true to that, we kind of do open it up to the truth of our heart. And that does drive us forward, right? So grounding in whatever's true, not only in our mind, but aligning it with our heart and our spiritual beliefs, desires, knowing, moves us forward through this week towards really powerful either new beginnings or steps towards attaining the plan or goals that we've been wanting. That's a really big order to fill, I think. I'm going to be interested to see how this week plays out. Please let me know if this makes sense to you guys. Please be excited about this energy because it feels really, really big. And with the new moon too, That's always about opening up new manifestations and working towards new possibility. The full moon is about releasing those things. So keep that in mind and use that power to your advantage this week. That is your reading, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it makes sense. Please leave me a question or comment. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Share the video out. Let people know about me and that I'm here. And, begin to step forward in your truth and work towards those goals and let the universe conspire with you to get you there. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. Have a wonderful week. I will see you tomorrow for the daily. And take care. Bye-bye.